At 32 years old, you realized for the first time that life could truly end. It was raining. You were standing beside your SUV in an underground parking garage when 4 black vehicles suddenly surrounded you. Seconds later, your face was slammed onto the hood, your arms twisted behind your back as handcuffs snapped shut around your wrists. "We found the shipment," one of the agents whispered into your ear. It took you a few seconds to understand. 45 kilos of heroin, hidden inside a secret compartment, in the truck you personally cleared. You knew exactly what that meant. Federal case. Minimum 30 years. No parole. They dragged you into a room. No windows. Just a metal table, 2 chairs, and a flickering fluorescent light overhead. For 6 hours, nobody came in. Then the door opened. A woman walked inside wearing a black suit. A thick file rested in her hands. "My name is Agent Naomi Blake." Maybe that wasn't even her real name. She opened the file. Photos from the last 6 years of your life, phone records, meetings, bank transfers, every detail. You sat there silently. Then she leaned closer. "Your life is over, Adrian. But we can offer you a way out." That way out was the doorway to hell. The deal was simple. You would go back. Back to work as if nothing had happened. You would continue transporting drugs, meeting contacts, making deals. But now you wouldn't belong to them anymore. You would belong to the government. Your new name was CI 9142. A confidential informant. If anyone ever found out, they wouldn't even recover your full body. The first assignment was easy. Meet a mid-level distributor named Marco Silva. He trusted you. The two of you had worked together for years. You met inside an Italian restaurant. A tiny wire was taped against your chest. You felt like the entire world could see it. Marco laughed. "You okay? You're sweating like crazy." You lied. "Probably just a fever." He slid an envelope across the table. The location of the next shipment. You grabbed the envelope. And for the first time in your life, you hated yourself. 2 weeks later, Marco was arrested. 18 years in federal prison. You tried to justify it. He would have done the same thing. But your conscience refused to believe it. The FBI was happy. But that was only the beginning. The real target was Rafael Cortez. The most dangerous drug lord in the city. People said he buried his own brother alive just because he suspected betrayal. Rafael was a strange man. He laughed at parties, bought gifts for children, remembered everyone's names. And the next day, someone would disappear forever. The FBI wanted you close to him. Very close. Months passed. You handled large shipments without asking questions. Rafael started liking you. You never wore a wire around him. His men scanned everything. So instead, you memorized everything. Names. Dates. Addresses. Murders. Money. At night, you wrote it all down inside a secret journal hidden behind a wall in your apartment. Every week, you met Agent Naomi. Sometimes in empty parking lots. Sometimes inside motel rooms. Sometimes on deserted highways. She always asked the same question. What else did you find out? She never asked how you were still alive. Over time, you began to change. Every car looked suspicious. Every stranger felt dangerous. You changed routes constantly. Switched phones every week. Checked your house before sleeping. Your life became pure fear. 2 years later, Rafael invited you to his daughter Isabella's birthday party. Hundreds of guests. Live music. Expensive liquor. He pulled you aside. "I've been watching you, Adrian. You're loyal. Then he smiled. I need someone like you to help me find the traitors inside the organization. Your blood froze. You were an informant. And now he wanted you to hunt informants. You started giving him names. Innocent people. Just to protect yourself. One of them was a man named Tommy Vale, who owned a small car garage. 3 weeks later, he disappeared. He was never seen again. That night, you looked at yourself in the mirror. And realized you were no longer the same man. 4 years later, the FBI finally had enough. Recordings. Money laundering. Murders. Cartel connections. But they wanted more. The Mexico connection. You had to go there. Everything changed in Mexico. The men who picked you up weren't ordinary smugglers. They were cartel soldiers. Machine guns. Empty eyes. They took your phone. Locked you inside a compound. Someone inside the organization had reported a possible rat. For 3 days, you waited to die. On the 4th day, another man broke under pressure. He confessed to being an informant. Even though he wasn't. An hour later, you heard a gunshot. And then they let you go. That day, the last piece of your soul died. When you returned, you told Naomi. I can't do this anymore. Her voice stayed cold. If you stop cooperating, the deal is over. You get 30 years. You were trapped. The prison bars just weren't visible. 5 years later. Raphael trusted you completely. You were inside the inner circle. You knew about murders before they happened. Shipments before they moved. But you couldn't do anything. If you warned people, you died. If the FBI moved too early, you'd be exposed. So you stayed silent. And people kept dying. Then someone made a mistake. One of Raphael's lieutenants was caught with a burner phone. The call history traced back to an FBI field office. It wasn't your phone. But paranoia spread fast. Polygraphs started. Interrogation started. People began disappearing. You knew your turn was coming too. One night, Naomi gave you only 4 words. Emergency extraction. Leave now. You never went home. Never packed clothes. You simply got into a car. And vanished. For the next 18 months, you lived in safe houses. A new location every few weeks. New name. New city. Your mother was told you were dead. It's safer this way. Then the trial began. Video testimony. Your face blurred. Your voice distorted. For the first time in 5 years, you finally told the truth. Everything. The murders. The drugs. The money. The names. Rafael Cortez received life in prison. 53 people were arrested. It became the largest RICO case in the state's history. Agent Naomi told you. You're a hero. But you never felt like one. The U.S. Marshals gave you a new identity. A new name. A new life. You moved to a small town. Got a job at a hardware store. You cut grass, lived quietly. But the fear never disappeared. Every car looked suspicious. Every knock at the door made your heart stop. There was still a loaded gun under your bed. Raphael's remaining men had placed a price on your head. $5 million. Dead only. Now you're 39 years old. Alone. No friends. No family. No permission to tell the truth. And every night, one question keeps you awake. Was the math worth it? Did you really do the right thing after destroying so many lives? Or did you simply sell your soul to survive? Agent Naomi still calls sometimes. You did the right thing. You always give the same answer. I'm fine. Then you hang up. Sitting alone in a silent house. Listening to the footsteps of your past. Because there's one thing you learned during those 5 years. The past never dies. It only waits for the right moment to return.